Morning, guys. Hey, I just thought I'd go over something. Guns and Gadgets. This guy does a real good job of getting the information out there to the people, extremely well. Now, I want you to look at the last couple of things that have come up. Senator Graham calls for gun control votes in the Senate. More body armor ban and more gun control. Second Amendment groups support red flags. No way. GOP representative to retire over his support for gun control. And I'm going to zoom out in just a little bit. And yeah. People. Now they're really worried about the gun control bills because they got them red flags in there. Now, you know me by now that I know a little bit about the law. Not that these people don't. But I know about the Constitution. And you should too. What gets me is, we sent these people to Washington. Congressmen, senators, so on and so forth. And they are the most ignorant bunch of idiots I've ever come across in my life. What gets me is, ignorance of the law is no excuse when they supposedly know the law. That's what burns my ass. What gets me is these people are, if they really valued liberty and if they valued freedom, this shit wouldn't be going on. I'm telling you. I'm going to show you something. There's no place in the Constitution anywhere that allows the federal government to pass firearm laws. But there is one place in the Constitution that says they are constitutionally barred from ever doing that. We're going to get to that right now. I'll leave a link. What gets me is so many of these people who are supposedly fighting for our rights, they don't even use this. They go through all these case law approach. That's not it. That's not where the value is. It says here, now this, before they would pass and ratify the Constitution of the United States, they were very wary of our government. Too much control. They wanted to have it be limited control. The people are in charge. We send them there to watch over us, and they're not doing that. So they can be all recalled. And don't tell me your state doesn't have recall rights, because every damn state in this union has recall rights. If they go against your wishes, they can be recalled. Okay. Now this came forth on March 4th, 1789. 1789. Remember that. So the conventions, a number of the states, having at the time of adopting the Constitution, expressed a desire in order to prevent misconstruction or abuse of its powers, that further declaratory, which means they're declaring that they can't do this, that further declaratory and restrictive clauses should be added. Remember, this is the preamble to the Bill of Rights. And they're putting these rights in there so that the government knows they can't do this. And then by putting this in here, they extended the grounds of public confidence in the government. So when they ratified this by 3/4 of said legislators, it made it valid to all intents and purposes as part of the said Constitution. Now, remember, that came out in 1789. It wasn't until 1791, December 15th, that the Constitution was ratified. And when they did this, people, when they did this, here's what happened. When they ratified that, it made the Second Amendment to the United States Constitution. It ratified and preserved for every citizen the right to keep and bear arms, and moreover, that neither Congress or any other instrument of the federal government is constitutionally barred from infringing upon that right. They can't do it. That's what this is for. And then these people in Washington, D.C. don't know how to read the Constitution. They don't know how to understand it. They pass laws and they go, well, the Supreme Court will take that up sometime if you ever get in trouble. No. When you pass an unconstitutional law, it's unconstitutional from the very time it was passed. Period. Nowhere in the Constitution does it give the Congress the authority to pass any kind of firearm laws. But like I said, what did I just get done telling you? Right here in their preamble to the Bill of Rights, they put more declaratory and restrictive clauses in there. And what does your Second Amendment say? Shall not be infringed in any manner. That's why I'm not getting upset about all these laws and stuff they're passing, because what Congress and the Senate's doing is showing their damn ignorance. And that pisses me off probably more than anything. They should all be removed. All of them. Well, maybe there's a couple people with some brains in there, but most of them don't have common sense. You got Ryan, you got Rand Paul, and a couple of girls and maybe a couple guys on the Republican Party that's got some sense. But the rest of these people is dead weight to this country. I'm gonna put that in there just a little bit bigger so you understand. What does it say? Misconstruction or abuse of its power, that further declaratory and restrictive clauses should be added. If you look in your Constitution, and most of you should have a Constitution by now, if a power isn't delegated to the federal government, it doesn't have it. There's no place in there in the enumerated powers to give them that power. They were trying to use the Commerce Clause, but the Commerce Clause, if you look in shoot, where's my brain today? Give me a second. If you look in the Federalist Papers, you'll find out that the Commerce Clause was only designed for them to make the commerce regular. Not to regulate it, to make it regular. Because back then, as today, every state was adding more taxes and tariffs to the goods as it passed through their local region. That's all the Commerce Clause was for. The Necessary and Proper Clause only means what's necessary and proper under the enumerated powers. Nothing more. There's nothing in the Constitution to give these people the power to pass firearm laws. Period. It's not there. Okay, we'll do this one more time. The Second Amendment to the Federal Constitution recognized that we have a God-given right to keep and bear arms, and it's to be free. Get that? To be free from any interference whatsoever from the federal government. Send this stuff on to your representatives and to your senators and to anybody else that'll listen. Send it to those people who keep asking you to send more money to protect your gun rights. Accordingly, the federal government is nowhere in the Constitution. I'll say this again. Accordingly, the federal government is nowhere in the Constitution granted authority to abridge, restrict, or infringe in any fashion whatsoever guns or ammunition. All restrictive laws made by Congress, all regulations made by the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms are unconstitutional, is outside the scope of powers granted to the Congress and to the executive branch by our Constitution. Restriction of arms and ammunition is not one of the enumerated powers delegated to the Congress or to the executive branch. So understand the law, people. Because your damn Congress and your senators don't know it. They're up there playing guessing games with your lives, with your freedom, with your liberty, with your country. People, I hope you wake up soon. I really do. I mean, this is, it's sad. Sad, sad. Hang on there. I want to go back here just for a second. I want to make sure that, home place. Yeah, here we go. Going to be longer than I wanted this to be. I want you people to understand something. Congress does not have the power or authority invested anywhere in the Constitution to pass any kind of firearms laws. All this stuff about us getting all bent out of shape. Let these people follow the law. And if they don't follow the law, there's a thing called a noose. How can I speak such... It's not hatred. It's, how can I be so mean? Well, I only talk like that nitwit from New York, Schumer. That's just the way we talk in Ohio. It's just the way we talk, man. But this stuff of you trying to pull the wool over our eyes, it's done. It's over with. And for that GOP representative, he's going to retire over his support for gun control. Yeah, he should step down. He ought to take his buddies with him. All these nitwits, man. And they're up there making these laws, making you jump through hoops. Your firearms is a right. It's not a privilege, it's a right. They can't pass laws, oh, you gotta have background checks, you gotta jump through all these hoops. It's not a privilege, it's a right. All your regulations are junk, like your brain cells. All you're looking for is more control, buckwheat, and it ain't gonna fly. Thanks for watching. I'll put a link.